Hello, I'm Wade Cook. There's an old Irish proverb that says that the biggest fish you'll ever catch is still swimming in the ocean. It's true. The purpose of the Wealth Institute Home Study Program is to give you the tools necessary for you to get out there and fish a little bit longer and a little bit better. To help you build up a substantial amount of assets, riches, wealth that will produce monthly income for you to live the lifestyle that you really want to live. I'd like to congratulate you for investing in your financial future. Thank you for purchasing this program, and thank you for your desire to make your life better. Before I get into the nuts and bolts of this whole course, I'd like to share with you how it all came together, to give you some ideas on how this whole program will benefit you. I started out as a cab driver in Tacoma, Washington. People think I'm joking about that, but I was car number 22, yellow cab. I was beating that thing to death trying to make a living, trying to support my family. Then I went to one of these rah-rah, you can get rich in America seminars. Go out and buy a house, go out and buy a duplex, and all your problems are over. And I thought, boy, this real estate is for me. I'm going to become rich. I'm going to be a real estate investor. Well, what happened, though, is probably typical of a lot of people watching right now. I got excited about rental properties. You know, the old-fashioned way of doing real estate, hassling with bankers and all the problems that come up. I had to borrow money from my father to get started. I had to drive the taxi extra weekends to come up with down payment money and fix up money. And there I was at the end of 1 year, though, very successful. I owned 9 rental properties. Boy, that was exciting, 9 rental properties. I was worth $120,000, and then a $65 electric bill came due and I didn't have the money to pay it. I thought, man, this old rental game is not working. What I decided to do was to sell one of my properties. Everybody started calling me crazy, telling me not to do that. But I had bills to pay, so I put one of my houses up for sale, and I ended up carrying back a small monthly payment and getting a down payment so that I had no cash tied up in this property. Then I started thinking, you know, this is kind of cool. I mean, I've got all these monthly checks coming in for the next umpteen years. Why don't I just go out and do this again and again? That was the birth of the money machine concept. It was a system for building up a substantial amount of monthly income coming from these assets. Now, if you work for someone else right now and you don't go to work, your income's going to stop. Even if you own your own business and you don't go to your place of business, your income's going to stop because the business is going to shut down. What I stumbled across was a way for everyone watching this and everyone investing in the Wealth Institute Home Study Program to build up the kind of income, the kind of assets that they need, these assets that will produce monthly checks so that they can quit their jobs. Now, what have you tried in the past? I mean, I'll bet you everybody watching has been to a seminar or read a book on real estate or some other aspect of investing. Probably a lot of you have tried oil. Some of you have tried real estate. I'll bet many of you have even tried running your own business. Well, see, there's a big gap, though. There's a big gap. See, we have on this side over here a substantial amount of wealth, and we have a lot of people over here trying to get to that amount of wealth. People trying to live the American dream. But right here in the middle is a big, huge gap, a river, a chasm that people don't know how to cross. Well, your investment in the Wealth Institute Home Study Program is going to bridge that gap. A few years ago, the Chamber of Commerce came out with a study that said 80% of all businesses fail in their first year. And of the 20% that make it, 80% of those fail in their second year. Now, why is that? Conversely, people that franchisees that get involved in that kind of a program, 85% of those people make it their first year. Now, why is that? Because they have a track to run on. They have a system. They have support. And that's what people need. For many years, I've been around the country selling books, and I come in and out of people's lives in a hotel room, and they'll buy my books, and they'll go home and get excited about purchasing real estate. Well, now you are going to have the tools necessary to bridge that gap. Tools where you can go out and get started, create your money machine, maintain your money machine, and then protect it. You see, the purpose of this video right now is to explain to you 3 things. Number 1 is to give you a detailed description of the process, of the whole course that you're going to get involved in. Number 2 is to answer the frequently asked questions that people are constantly asking me about their lives and about me and about the whole program. And the third reason for purchasing this course is to give you a little bit of enthusiasm, give you a little bit of motivation so that you can get up and get going and make it real for you. How do you get rich in America today? One of the questions I ask at my seminars is how many of you would really like to make over $100,000 a year? And hands go up all over the audience. Then I look at the people and I say, if you really want to make $100,000 a year. Why are you talking to anybody about making money who's making less than $100,000 a year? To whom are you listening? Where are you going for your advice? Let me tell you what happened to me. A few years back, I was being interviewed on a financial show in Los Angeles. It was one of those Johnny Carson type financial shows. And I was the third guest on Friday night, and I guess there have been 2 or 3 guests each night for the whole week. And apparently all week long they've been asking all these financial gurus what their idea of being wealthy was, what their idea of being rich was. Well, when I got out on the stage, they said the same thing to me. Mr. Cook, all week long we've been asking people, what is your idea of being rich in America today? And I looked back at the guy and I said, $2 million. He goes, what? Huh? What? I said, yeah, $2 million. I said, what's wrong with that? He goes, well, nobody else has given us an answer here. And I said, just a minute. I'm like the 12th or 13th guy for the whole week, and you've been asking all these people that teach financial seminars and written financial books what their idea of being rich is, and they haven't given you an answer. What have they all been saying? And he said, well, they've been saying things like, my idea of being rich is to go where you want, when you want. My idea of being rich is, have you all heard that stuff before? Well, you don't need any ambiguous, nebulous answers here. Look, everyone, $2 million. Is that a lot of money? If you have $2 million in the bank at 5 or 10%, that'll produce almost $200,000 a year in income. Now, if you need more than $200,000 a year to live on, you got a problem. Now, so what we're talking about is a program that will build up a substantial amount of wealth. Substantial amount of wealth, but not just assets for the sake of having assets. See, here's a question for you. Can you have assets that do not produce income? Yeah, and far too many of you have all kinds of those. What we're talking about is building a grouping of assets that will produce monthly checks. Now, whether it's $500 a month or $5,000 a month, I'd like you to come back with me. Come back to Buffalo, New York a few years back. I had been in Buffalo in May of that year, and this was August, 4 months later, and I was teaching another seminar there. And I had all these books that you see and all my home study courses in the back of the room for sale. And there was this woman kind of sitting in the middle of the room, kind of shaking, and I thought she was sick, and I said, ma'am, are you okay? And she stood up and she said, I just got to say something. And she said, I thought you were crazy. You know, you were here 4 months ago talking about buying and selling houses this fast and making this kind of money. And you know, I didn't think I could do it. But you look like a nice guy, so I went back in the back of the room and I bought your books. And I went out and tried it. I went out Sunday after, that was Saturday. I went out Sunday afternoon and I tried it. And I found a house. Now, this woman wanted to sell it. I wanted to buy it. We didn't know what to do. So we went down to an attorney's office the next morning, and we said, would you drop all the paperwork for putting this deal together? And he said, sure, it'll take about 5 or 6 or 7 weeks to do that. And she goes, oh, no, no, no. No, I want to buy the house this morning. She wants to sell it. I want to buy it. We want to do it this morning. He goes, ma'am, we can't do it. She goes, no, no. I went to this seminar for this guy named Wade Cook, and he says you ought to be able to close this deal in about 2 hours or shut up and get busy. And he said, ma'am, I've been an attorney now for 18 years. You cannot close a deal that fast. And he said, I'll prove it. So he gets on the phone, calls the title company, you know, that does the abstracts and the title reports and all that. He says, will you tell this lady that we can't close her deal this morning? And they said, no, no, we can do it. We're not very busy. For an extra $18, they typed up all the paperwork and got it over to his office and did a one-day deal. Well, he finished typing up all the paperwork there, and she bought the property that day. Then she said, hey, this is like 11 o'clock in the morning. You told me I could buy a house in one day. You told me I could sell a house in one day. So I went to a real estate office right after lunch, and there was a bunch of agents there, and I says, look, does anybody here have anybody that wants to buy a house? And one of them did. We had to wait for this guy to get off work at 3 o'clock, went over to the house, showed it to him, he liked it, wanted to buy it, went back down to the same law office. Now, her attorney had gone home, but his partner was there. They started typing up the papers, couldn't finish it that day, but they finished typing them the next morning on Tuesday morning. Now, everyone, no big deal. Because, see, she only walked out of closing that day with about $680 in her pocket. But she had $82 a month coming in for the next 23 years. Now, she's taken my seminar away from me. She's teaching my seminar. She's standing in the middle of the room, and she's kind of wandered up by me now. And she looked out at everybody, and she said, I thought it was a fluke. I thought this was a one-time deal. But I've gone out now in the last 4 months since he was here, since I got his program, and I have bought and sold 11 houses, and I'm at $1,080 a month. And then she looked at everybody in the audience, and she looked at them seriously, and she says, I'm going to say one last thing. You could make money, or you can make excuses, but you cannot make both. Now, I'm going to contend and say the same thing here today. You can make money or you can make excuses, but you cannot make both. Now, people get really good at making excuses. There's all kinds of reasons why they excel at making excuses. But if you want to make good money, you've got to give up the excuses and get out there and get going. By the way, the story doesn't stop there. A few years later, I'm in Philadelphia, and I'm on one of those morning TV talk shows, like those AM type talk shows. And I'm just sitting there getting ready to go, and they come back from a commercial break, and then as soon as we go live and the guy starts to ask me questions, wham, bam, this woman comes up out of the audience, and she's sitting on the edge of my chair. This guy that's interviewing me is freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. And he goes, "What is this?" She goes, "I went to this guy's seminar, and I got his book," and she showed him the book and all the forms and documents, and everything was underlined, and she just like memorized this thing. She goes, "I went to his seminar about 2.5 years ago, and I've gone out and bought and sold all these houses." She said, and by the way, back to the seminar that day, I looked at her in front of that audience, and I said, "Ma'am, would you mind telling us how old you are?" And she said, "I'm 72 years old. Well, now she's about 75 years old, sitting on the show, almost 76, and she looks at him and she says, "I am now at $8,000 a month coming in. I used to, when I retired at age 65, everybody was saying, 'Grandma, just be retired. Just be retired.' I love to crochet. I like to make things for people. I had to wait for my Social Security check to come in," she said, "to be able to have the money to go out and buy another skein of yarn to finish a job for one of my grandchildren. I didn't want to live this lifestyle of poverty." So I got his stuff. I went out and made all this money. And here I am now on your show. I'm almost 76 years old, and now at $8,000 a month, and I've saved up enough money. I bought my husband a house for cash, and at $8,000 a month, I'm going to announce on your television show that I am now going to retire. And she'd won this audience over too, and they were all clapping for her. It was a great story. But then it doesn't stop there either. A year after that, I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm keynoting a great big huge convention. And she's in the back of the room. I didn't even know she'd come down to Orlando. She's in the back of the room, once again taking my seminar away from me. And she's got everybody listening to her about all the deals that she has made and the money she's made. And then I got her up in front of the audience again, and she said, "My grandson came to me and said, 'Grandma, I really want to go to medical school. I'm almost done with college, but Mom and Dad are making too much. I can't qualify for grants and loans and things like that.' She goes, 'Give me a year.' He said, 'Well, I've got a year of undergraduate school left.' In the next 10 months, she went out and bought and sold enough houses. She didn't want to dip into her $8,000 a month. She bought and sold enough new houses to totally support her grandson all the way through 3 years of medical school. Now, how about that for a 76-year-old grandma? And you know what? I get stories in like that all the time. You too can be your own success story. What you have in your possession now, the Wealth Institute Home Study Program, is not some namby-pamby, wishy-washy seminar. It's a full-scale, industrial-strength, A to Z retirement system. Let me tell you now about the components that have been meticulously put together to give you the most comprehensive, the most innovative approach to building wealth ever assembled in this country. You'll have all the tools that you need to go out and get rich and retired. The Wealth Institute Home Study course is comprised of 10 audio cassette albums, categorized into 3 sections and 1 documents kit containing workbooks, financial documents, and legal forms. The first 4 audio seminars is called Creating Your Money Machine. The second group of seminars teaches you how to run your money machine business as a successful business. It's called Maintaining Your Money Machine. And the third group of seminars shows you how to protect what you've created with your money machine, and it's called Protecting Your Money Machine. I want you to start your program with the Creating Your Money Machine group of seminars. The first seminar in this group is called The Money Machine. This is your core seminar. The Money Machine is really the flagship course of the whole series. Anytime you get stuck or have problems, you come back to this course. It will give you a complete synopsis of everything that you need to do to build up a huge monthly income. And also, you'll receive a lot of information on protecting your assets and all kinds of tax strategies. From A to Z, this course explains it all. The next course is called Cash Flow Secrets. This is a more detailed and comprehensive explanation of the money machine. In this course, you'll find out how to find the properties, how to process them, how to sell them, and to do everything it takes to make money on every deal. Remember, the purpose is to build up monthly cash flow. You'll also receive in this course information on how to set it up and run it as a business to make your structural entities work for you. The next course is called Start Smart. A lot of people want to know how to get going, how to find money, how to find the properties. Well, this course explains it all. You'll literally be able to take one of the cassettes out of this course, put it in your car, and start driving. I will tell you on the tape when to stop the car. And once you've done that, you push in the next cassette, and you'll learn how to analyze the property to make sure that every property works and that every property fits nicely and neatly into your full financial puzzle. This course will explain everything on how to get up and get going and how to make a lot of money right away. The final seminar in this first group is called Foreclosure Millionaire. This is my favorite because when I was doing my money machine deals, I was making pretty good money. But when I really started making big time money was when I was finding properties when there was something wrong. Either something wrong with the people or something wrong with the property. Now most of you don't have enough money to go to the auction block and buy the properties. This course gives you a way of finding the properties way, way, way before they get too far into the foreclosure process so that you can get them with just a small amount of money, pick up the back payments, and get on with a great property that will make you a lot of money right away. The next group of seminars is called Maintaining Your Money Machine, and they are designed to teach you how to run your money machine business. The first course in this series is called Millionaire Real Estate Secrets. At this point in time in your career, you need to gear up. You need to get out there making a lot of money. Now, whether you're just getting started or whether you're worth a lot of money right now, this seminar will give you the means, the tools to get out there and acquire more real estate. Whether you're doing them for buying and selling, whether you're doing them for rental purposes in terms of tax write-offs, this is a course that will let you take your money and turn it into a whole army of money and acquire more real estate so it will do for you what you want it to do, and it'll all be explained right here in this seminar. The second course in this series is called How to Turn Second Mortgages into Super Wealth. A lot of you right now are very busy, and if you do the money machine right, it will create more activity. This course will show you how to take the wealth that you've created, the money that you have coming in, and perpetuate that into 40% plus yields, sometimes even 60 to 90%. This is what I do. A lot of you that have your own businesses right now, this is the way of two-stepping your wealth, taking money from your existing business and getting it into assets that provide perpetual monthly income. There are many courses on paper going around the country right now. Second mortgages, deeds of trust, the like. Everything you need to get into that lucrative business is explained in this course. Also, you'll receive in this course all the forms, documents that you need to process these deals. It's a complete, comprehensive seminar on how to get your income up and then to perpetuate that income into wealth that you've never thought possible before. The next course in this series is called Turbocharge Your Business. This is a fun course. This course will show you how to take your money machine business and set it up and structure it in a way that will make you a lot of money. It will show you how to treat it as a business. There are all kinds of tax strategies. Nevada corporations are thoroughly and fully explained how to set them up, what they can do and what they can't do. Everything from A to Z about being in business and running it as a business and making a lot of money is contained in this program. The third group of seminars is designed to teach you how to protect the assets you've created. It's called Protecting Your Money Machine. The first seminar in this group is called Pension Power. What a thrill it is to see people around the country taking their financial future, their financial destiny into their own hands. We're going to show you how to be the trustor, the trustee, and the beneficiary of the same money. This seminar explains everything in detail. No other course in this country even begins to give you the comprehensive information that is contained in Pension Power. You'll learn everything you need to set it up, how to run it, how to operate it, what you can and cannot do, and you'll learn how to take a financial entity and take every investment that you get involved in and turn every investment into a tax-free entity. This is a powerful grouping of information that will show you how to get ready for a great retirement. The next seminar in this series is called Living Trust. There are basically three reasons for doing estate planning. One is to avoid probate. Another reason is to reduce or eliminate estate taxes. And the third reason is to provide for the continuity of your assets in a tender, loving, caring way. This Living Trust seminar explains everything you need to have to set up your living trust. You'll learn what you can and cannot do. You'll see how a living trust upon the death of one of the spouses will take your estate to a stepped-up basis to avoid taxes. This is a powerful grouping of information that can be found nowhere else except here in this Living Trust seminar. The last course in this grouping of seminars is called Financial Savvy. This course is also the final course in the whole Wealth Institute Home Study program. This is not a simple little course. This is a major financial industrial strength seminar. In this course, you'll learn about the tools you'll have in your financial tool chest for setting up and establishing the different entities. You'll learn about Nevada corporations, limited partnerships, living trusts, pension plans, and the Massachusetts Business Trust. Not only will you learn about each one of these entities individually, but you'll learn how to integrate them. What is going to seem like extensive information is going to be simplified so that you'll learn how to put these entities to work for you. You learn how to set them up. You learn all the reasoning behind the how, why, where, and when of doing these different entities. And most importantly, you'll see how you're going to integrate all of them for your financial future. Now, you'll also be introduced in this course with one tape on the Financial Fortress documents. This is a grouping of documents that will help you establish these different entities in a clear, simplified manner. Everything you need to learn to preserve and protect your wealth is contained in Financial Savvy. The Documents Kit contains the 10 workbooks associated with each audio seminar, financial documents, and all the legal forms you will need to implement the Money Machine process contained in your seminars. I'd like to say a few things about the 10 workbooks that go along with the audio seminars. These workbooks were created and designed to help you as if you were sitting right there in the seminar. We used italicized lettering to point out the answers to the questions that I posed in the audio seminars. You'll be able to follow along in a fast pace to quickly get this information into your brain so that you can get out there and start making money. One of the sections of this Documents Kit is a set of legal forms, your Legal Forms Kit. Every document you need for processing your Money Machine deals is here. When you find a property to buy, you have the documents to do this. When you want to rent it or sell it, all the documents are contained here for your easy use. Everything you need is right here for putting your Money Machine deals together. The next section in your Documents Kit is a set of forms called the Living Trust Forms. With these forms, you'll be able to implement your Living Trust. The Living Trust documents also contain all the supporting forms that you need for making sure that your Living Trust does what you want it to do. The durable powers of attorney, the schedules, and the joint pourable will. They're all there. Everything you need to make sure that your Living Trust is set up properly for you. The last section of the Documents Kit is a set of forms we call the Financial Fortress documents. I have literally spent tens of thousands of dollars to lawyers on helping me write and establish these documents so that they'll do for you what you want them to do. These are the documents that you'll actually use for establishing the different legal entities, especially the Family Limited Partnership and the Business Trust. You'll also have documents in here for setting up a general trust and other partnership arrangements. There's also a dispute resolution agreement which you would sign with anybody that you're going into business with to stop lawsuits. Every document that you need for establishing these different entities and all the information is contained in the Documents Kit. Along with the different seminars that accompany this, you'll learn how you can set up a money machine that will produce more wealth than you can ever spend. I cannot stress enough the totality of this whole system. Everything you need to make, keep, and preserve your money machine is contained in the Wealth Institute Home Study Program. All the forms and documents are here, the audio seminars to accompany them and to accompany you while you're out making this money. Everything you've dreamed about, everything you've wanted will come to life with the Wealth Institute Home Study Program and all these forms, documents, and seminars to help you make it real. Now I'd like to take some time and answer the most frequently asked questions, probably questions that you'd like to ask if you were here. I'd like to do this, though, in the context of the home study program that you have invested in. There are 3 sections. One is building up your money machine, creating your money machine. Another one is maintaining, and the third section is protecting your assets, protecting your money machine. The questions that come up all the time are questions that fit so nicely into this program because, remember, it's been designed to help you solve your problems, help you get out there and get going. The first question that comes up all the time is, well, how do I get going, especially if I don't have any money? Now, if that's your situation, then I think this answer will, I hope it'll get you excited and yet not cause you to wonder about what to do because there's deals out there waiting. If you can find the bargain properties, if you can get out there and get working, there's money everywhere. One of the questions I ask at the beginning of the program is how many of you would like to be the arms and the legs? If somebody else would put up the money, a chiropractor, a friend, a mother and a father, if somebody else would put up the money, how many like to go out and find the bargain properties? Well, a lot of people would. But then the question comes up, how many of you would like to put your money into these deals if somebody else here would go out and find them and more hands go up, more people are interested, there's more money out there to get involved in these deals. So remember, just because we say no money, what we really mean is it's not your money. It could be somebody else's money. The other situation I like to bring up is that you can get good at educating people. So you have a choice. You either get people the money, which dig it up, save it up, beg for it, borrow it, do something, get the money, or you educate the people. You educate them on why they should not require such a large down payment, why they should take monthly payments. And I think you'll love the things as you get into the program that explain to you and give you the tools on exactly how to do that so that you don't have to wonder about this and you can get out and start making deals and putting things together right away. Another question, how do I find bargain properties? Now, believe it or not, you're only about 3 weeks away from finding so many properties that you'll just not know what to invest in. I'm going to answer this question kind of in a funny way. Because see, if you find yourself out there so exclusively, so locked into one property, you're going to miss a lot of other opportunities. See, you can get consumed by a property trying to buy it, trying to round up the money, trying to do everything. What I would rather have you do, and what I'm going to do as an educator, is to create so much chaos in your life, so many deals coming your way, that you're going to, well, here's how it's going to work. You're going to run the ads. They're all in the program. You're going to get yourself busy doing things, working with agents and other things, and you're going to have so many deals coming your way, and that's what you want, right? See, if we can get your phone to ring, if we can get the deals coming your way, then you can pick and choose the best deals. We want 15 people calling you, trying to give you or sell you their house. Man, you've only got money to buy one, but I can't make up my mind. You narrow it down to 6. You finally scrape up together the money to buy 2 because you just can't make up your mind. See, that's what we want. And also, if we have people calling you, trying to give you or sell you their home, then you can ask them some pretty personal questions. If you're calling them, you won't be able to ask them very many questions like that at all. So our job, again, is to get the deals coming your way so that you can pick and choose the very, very best properties that will fit into your financial puzzle. And each property will make a profit and do for you exactly what you want it to do. Next question, what if? Now, this one can take several turns in the road. What if I can't find any bargain properties? What if the guy doesn't make his payments? What if I can't make money on this deal? What if I can't get the property sold? Now, I'd like to answer this question kind of a funny way because, you know, I come from about the most blue-collar working-class town in America. And I'd made $500,000 in just a little over a year, and people were still telling me that I couldn't do it. See, people get so bogged down and you know, doing mundane things, just trying to get the bills paid, that they forget, and they don't take the time to make really serious money. They get petty. Now, may I encourage you not to do that? Not worry about things that you should not be worrying about. This program is designed, I've outlined step by step the processes, the things that you need to do to go out and make money. If you'll follow, it's like baking a cake. I put together the ingredients for you to go out and do this. Now, let me talk about getting petty, and I'll tell you a quick story. There was a man one time that was trying to buy a house. Now listen to this one. This house was worth like $90,000, $95,000. He was getting it for $62,000 in a little suburb town right outside of a big town. And he was trying to get a loan or take over the loan from the bank, and they had a little argument he had with the manager of the bank. See, he come to my seminar and we talked about a $45 name change fee, which is now like $125. But back then, this guy was arguing with the banker because the banker said, no, it's not $45, it's $65. He says, no, it's $45. No, it's $65. No, Wade Cook, this guy that does all these financial seminars, he says it's $45. And they got in this argument. Pretty soon the banker called over the security guard and had this guy removed from the bank, and they're going to block him from the loan. Now, they really can't do that. But the point is that this guy did not need all those hassles. Well, he was on the phone with me, and he wanted to do some consultation. And, you know, he wanted me to console him. He wanted me to tell him that he was right. And when he got done explaining his story, I said, excuse me, let me get this straight. You're arguing over $20. Now, you've bought a property that you can get for $62,000, and you can sell it for like $94,000, $95,000. You're talking about making over $30,000, and you're arguing about $20? He goes, yeah, I guess it sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? Well, everyone, the program will take care of itself. You go step by step through this. You do step 1, step 2. You throw this ingredient in, you put this in, you stir the pot, you make things happen, and everything will work out. I've blazed the trail. I've been on the path. You don't have to go out there and reinvent the wheel. So all those what-if questions will get answered as, and the key word there, the operative word is the word as you put together these deals, as you build your financial base, everything will work out, and you'll see it all happen. Another question comes up. When should I incorporate? Now, this question has a lot of subsequent questions. When do I set up a business trust? Do I need a family limited partnership? Should I have a living trust, and when do I establish that? Should I set up a pension plan, and how much money should I be making before I do that? Now, in the Money Machine program, as we get through making all the money, you're going to realize you need these things right at the very beginning. But as you get on to Section 2, maintaining your money machine and then protecting your money machine, you're going to realize how important these entities are. And you'll have all the detailed instruction on when, how, and why to set them up, which one is best for you. And as you get through that, you'll be able to make the decisions on which one of these entities you need from a position of strength, because you'll have the knowledge to help you decide which one is best for you. In short, a corporation should be set up right away. Nevada, as you'll learn, is the greatest state for incorporating, but you need to get it set up right away because a $10,000 lawsuit can affect a poor person a lot more than a rich person. So you need to get it established so that it's ready to go. Business opportunities come. You have a chance of buying more properties. the entities are already established, ready to take advantage of all these business opportunities. The next question, when can I quit my job? When can you quit your job? Well, a lot of it's going to depend on you. In the Money Machine program, you have every tool you need to get retired in the next 9 to 12 months. Now, I know that that's a bold statement. Have you ever had anybody come into your life and tell you that they got a way, a plan, a system for you to get retired in 9 months or 12 months? Now, I've got to take time out on that. That's for you fast people, you people that really grasp it. You slow, pokey people, it'll take you a little bit longer. But the tools are there. The track is there for you to run on. What you really have to do is replace the income. A lot of people, especially married people with husbands and wives and families to feed, they're afraid of quitting their job because they need to replace the income that they have coming in right now. So whatever that is, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, whatever you're living on right now, you need to build up this grouping of assets that will produce the monthly checks to replace that income. We've got the track for you to run on. How fast that train goes along the track, though, is dependent on you. The next question is, how do I keep all this money that I've earned? How do I keep it? How do I make it stick? I work hard. How do I have something to show for all these years of working? Have you ever asked that question? I've done all this work. What do I have to show for it? Well, when you're done with this program, when you're done with the Wealth Institute Home Study Program, and you get out there and implement these tools, your answer is going to be, hey, I have a grouping of assets that are producing monthly checks. I can go back to college. I can go do whatever I want with the rest of my life because I've got income coming in from this other source that will support me, that will pay all of my bills. How do you keep it? Well, you keep it by integrating the different entities. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard the term estate planning or financial planning. What we prefer to call it is entity planning, where you set up different entities. You set up the corporation, the living trust, the pension plan. You move money from one to the other. You're deducting it. You're taking an entity, like a tax-free entity like the pension plan, and you're helping and working that money and helping it grow into a substantial amount of retirement income so that you can retire great. Do you know that there are more 18-year-olds in this country that can write a $500 check than there are 65-year-olds that can write a $500 check? Why is it? Why is it that over 90% of all of Americans have to substantially cut down their standard of living upon retirement? Now, do you realize that between the ages of 25 and 65, that the average American is going to make somewhere between $1 and $2 million? But then how come they end up dead broke at age 65? Well, not anymore. Not for you. You've taken the first step with this program to learn the tools, about the tools, and learn the things that you need to do to establish yourself so that you can make good money, sock aside good money, deduct it, pay less taxes, and then have all this money growing for your retirement, growing tax-free. We're going to take an entity and we're going to turn it into a tax-free entity. So whether you live, whether you die, whether you retire, no matter what you do with the rest of your life or what happens to you, you're going to be better off. And that's what this program, that's what the power of this program is, that it's not just a little seminar to run out there and buy another property. It's the Z, it's the ABC all the way down to Z. We call it the Tahiti Retirement Seminar, so you can get retired in Tahiti or wherever else you want to get retired. So the whole design of this is not just to show you how to accumulate wealth, but it's how to keep it and protect it and preserve it and have that wealth do for you what you really want it to do. The last question I like to answer is one that comes up to me personally, and sometimes, by the way, I get it on radio and TV talk shows. People call up and they say, all right, if you're so rich, if you're so smart, why are you out here teaching seminars? I get more of a thrill now out of helping people make money than I get out of making money. I know that on any given day that I could go out and buy and sell a couple properties and make more money than I'm making by selling books and teaching seminars. And my students are making more money than I am, and I love it. I really enjoy helping people make a lot of money. See, I was able to retire. I've been very blessed, and I was able to retire. Now I can spend my time helping other people get retired. Well, let me tell you about this young lady in Chicago. She came up to me at this seminar. She'd been to my seminar about, 9, 10, 12 months before that. And as she was talking, she showed me her wrist, and she had tried to kill herself. Now, she had ribbons around there, so I couldn't really see it, but, man, I've never had anybody do that before. And she said, what happened was this. My mother had died about a year and a half before, and this girl, by the way, was really overweight. She was quite obese, and she said, my father went on a drunk after my mother died, and for 7 months he just drank every day. Well, I bought your home study course instead of buying food, and when I got home, my dad yelled at me for 3 days. Well, he finally came into the kitchen where I was listening to your tapes, and he started listening with me. And after about a couple of days of that, he got really into it. He said, let's go do this ourselves. So we formed a corporation, just like what you said. We got ourselves all structured, ready to go, and we went out and started finding houses. Now, in the last 9 months, we have bought and sold 23 houses. Everyone, that's a lot, 23 houses in 9 months. We're at $2,800 a month, she said. And by the way, she's successful. She's successful now. Then she tried to sell me some herbal diet program. What a neat story. I mean, I get stories like that all the time of these people that are out making and taking their lives into their own hands. Now, a lot of people think that they have to do the big deal. They have to do the big property, the big mall, the big shopping center. You become rich in a whole bunch of bite-sized pieces. You get wealthy in little steps. You see, the bottom line key to wealth is duplication. It's repetition. You know, around the turn of the century, the Wright brothers back in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, virtually changed the history of aviation and the history of the world. Do you know that today, from the point where that little plane took off and the point where that plane landed, today that distance could be flown inside of a Boeing 747? I mean, that little flight just changed everything. Well, what we're going to show you in this whole program is how little things make the big differences. A whole bunch of little things will eventually get you retired. Well, that's what this program is about. We've bridged the gap. We've taken where you are here and where you want to be over here and all the wealth that you want to accumulate, and we've given you the road to run, and we've given you the bridge that will just get you there. It depends on you now. You take in this course and you study it. You work hard at it. You get the jargon down, the language down, the words down. You get the techniques and the strategies. And then when you're out on the streets, when you're faced with the real deals, it'll become easy for you because you have the knowledge. Now, knowledge really is power. It really is. And it opens up opportunities that most people don't even know exist. So now take this program, build up your family, strengthen yourself with this information, and get out there and get going and make it real for you.